Time for another DawgHouse. Stick around. We're about to kick off the show. All right, folks. Welcome to another show of the DawgHouse. As we get ready to talk about the news of the week and also the racing that took place this weekend, which I think we're going to have some interesting conversation. Do want to mention that if you have been looking for us on the stream, there is no more stream anymore. We are strictly video and podcast because that's how we want to do it. Right, Phil?
Yeah, because I'm just done. I'm
tired. We're done.
F you. If you're not happy with how we're doing things,
it's the way we roll.
That's right.
I'm done with it.
If you're not happy with things, you can let us know by going to www.patreon.com/NTN and paying us for us to care.
Every $7 a week, an episode donation, we'll take that as you're not happy. And if you do $7 an episode, we'll know that's how you vote, that you're not happy.
Yeah.
Taking that right out of like what Cam model.
$7,
7 tokens is no appreciation.
Yeah, if you donate to the show, you have a right to complain. Otherwise,
you don't.
You don't. Go
you
pound
really
sand,
don't.
Right?
Yeah,
but if you do,
if you do pound sand,
if you pay, we won't care.
Yeah,
we won't care.
Hey, something else we should mention.
Well, do you care if they do pay?
Yeah, I do care. If you pay, I care. If you don't pay, I filter it out.
Listen, if you donate to Patreon, Ken answers your email. If you don't donate to Patreon, it comes to me.
There you go.
And then it's all love and war. Hey, we should mention that next weekend, Ken and I will be at Barber Motorsports for Moto America.
Next weekend? You mean the weekend following?
Well, not this weekend, coming up next weekend.
Okay. Well, that's always confusing because it's a vernacular thing.
All right.
He's speaking New
York.
The
weekend of the 14th, 15th of June, we will be at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama.
And this time I won't be a donk. And I will make sure that if you are tweeting or Facebooking at me, that I will respond and realize that it's because you're there, because I screwed the pooch at VIR. Didn't realize.
I bet you he'll still be a donk.
I probably will be. But we were thinking about maybe doing a tweet up. So follow if you go to be there, tweet at us, DawgHouse Pack or Shift Point Mag or Ken. What's your Twitter?
Yeah, I never look at it.
He never, or at I never look at it.
You can use,
and that's DawgHouse, DAWG.
Yeah, DawgHouse Radio is the Twitter.
Radio. Right. It's the Twitter.
And that's probably your best way to get me is at DawgHouse Radio.
Yeah, and do that, and let us know that you'd be interested in doing a tweet up, because we're thinking we'll probably do that maybe Saturday or something like that, depending on everything's going on. Friday we're going to be busy getting interviews and stuff again, so probably Saturday would be the best day, and then you'd be there for the races, or Sunday. Maybe we'll do it Sunday between the Superbike races.
Well, we'll see how it works out, because we may be dead from schwitzing to death after Friday.
I'm not sure what schwitzing is, but that's definitely why we'll be dead.
You can't say that either, can you?
Schwitzing?
Schwitzing, there you go.
Whatever.
You should know. You've got all those Nazis in the family. That's a German term.
Hey, that's
allegedly.
Never mind. I was going to say allegedly, but that's actually true.
It's true.
So, yeah, we'll be down there. We hope to see a bunch of you guys down there, especially, VIR. We got to see people we knew and stuff like that, and that kind of thing. Birmingham's kind of new territory for us. We know some of you guys are out that way, so if you're out that way and you are going to the race, let us know.
Yeah, rumor is
we'll let you cook us lunch.
Or bring us lunch.
Or bring us lunch, right? You can buy.
I don't care who cooks.
Yeah, I really don't care who cooks.
Right, yeah.
You can bring us lunch.
If you see Phil, you definitely understand that he doesn't care who cooks, as long as there's food.
Yeah, and we're gonna do some. Obviously, we're gonna do more interviews and video down there. We're gonna spend some time at the Barber Motorsports Museum.
I'm looking forward to that.
I am looking forward to that. That's that alone makes the trip worthwhile. But also watching the race, and we just keep your fingers crossed, everybody, that we have good weather.
Yeah, because what I was thinking after watching the races this weekend, or at least the highlights of the races this weekend, because I couldn't find the races this weekend, was that Moto America should be paying the DawgHouse to be there, because the only sunny weekend they had has been VIR when we're there.
I know.
So
it's been quite wet.
It has been very wet. So I'm thinking if it's sunny this weekend, I'm going to tell Wayne Rainey, look, for $5,000 a race, we'll show up and
Right.
give you good weather.
Right. We should let them know too that the
You'll
reason
part
they
the
have rain
seas.
and all the other ones is
It's
because you're back.
us crying.
Because you're back. No, because you're back here doing a rain dance, right?
That is true.
A remote rain dance.
The remote rain dance, and it's more effectful now that I live out in the mountains.
That's right. That's right.
It's like, wow, he's at higher elevation and closer to water, and I don't know.
I bet you it's because he thinks he's doing it in the nude now is why it's working.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, that's scary.
Warren stopped over to watch.
Oh, he did, huh?
Ooh, no.
He was cheering, throwing dollar bills at me. It was kind of fun.
I heard Warren shaved your ass. That's all
Yeah.
I heard.
No.
He didn't tell you that was with his toothbrush.
Oh, this show's gone
Wow,
downhill
this
fast.
show went to the
Spun
gutter.
out of control.
Don't
What's
we
this
have
show
something
supposed
else
to be
to
about?
talk about?
Motorcycles, right?
It is going to be about motorcycles. And people sit on motorcycles, and people's asses get shaved. So I think they're related. You know, it's the 5 degrees of separation type thing. I want to mention that in the second half hour, this is an hour show now, in the second half of the show, we are going to talk about one of the things I want to talk about, which is who killed Mark Marquez. We're going to talk about that. So that's a big story. You don't know.
I thought it was going to be where in the world is Mark Marquez.
I
who
know
killed
where
his
I know where
bike?
he is. But it's like he's taking a spectator's role. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we should, because I have an interesting theory too.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. It's not going to be the Jack Hookers, is it again?
No. This one's actually almost believable.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
one of those rumors, like the whole British Superbike is looking to buy AMA Pro Road Racing rumors.
Okay.
This one could actually be believable.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how Andre Dovizioso kept me from losing too many points to Warren this weekend.
I'm not picking that man again. He has zeroed me twice now.
We'll do that, and we also are going to have a little fun with our good friend and supporter Martin, who actually did a great impression of Phil this weekend. And we're going to do that too in the second half of the show, so you don't want to miss that. So you definitely want to stick around for that. This week, Warren is going to be doing all the news, and I might actually throw a story in Warren if there's some extra time, but otherwise I won't, because Phil's but it's a real short one.
That's real magnanimous of you.
Yeah, but I might not.
Wait.
I don't have to do it.
Durka, and correct me if I'm wrong, I did hear him say, Phil wants to throw something in, but it's a real short one. Right?
You probably
are you
hear that a
picking
lot.
on me a lot again?
I was going to say, you do hear that a lot. Phil.
Usually just from women.
The truth
That's
came
right.
out. He was the one at your Indian rain dance.
It could be. So I know one of you was.
So, but in any case, it doesn't have to happen. I just caught it.
Oh,
Mentioned
hey,
that I was
Ken?
being polite.
Ken,
Yeah.
nice dress shirt.
Oh, thank you, Phil. And yours? And yours too.
Yeah, no, I know. I looked over and I'm like, oh, damn it.
Actually,
I'm gonna
it's
have to go
because
out of my way not to
because
wear
we
these
are
things, I
we are
guess.
being sponsored by Spike.
Spike.
Yes, because all businesses that go out of business, they advertise on the DawgHouse because it's free.
Because it's free.
Because it's free. So Warren will be doing the news, and he'll kick that off on the other side of this break. So I think without further ado, even though we're a little bit early, we'll go ahead and probably going to run out to a break right now. When we come back,
I'll probably change my shirt.
Warren, are you going to do the story about the new BMW that Phil sent?
I'm not doing it this time
Okay.
because I'm going to do an update to the Waco shootings. So
Okay.
give you a bunch of factoids that have come out
All
recently.
Right. So we'll do that, and then we'll. I guess we'll let you just take control of things. That's it. I will just sit back here and make fun of you.
I'm in control.
I will sit back here and make fun of you because
Well,
that'll get
you
us the
do that
most.
every week
It'll get us
anyway.
the most views. Well, I'm gonna do more of it today. We're gonna make it a practice. All right, folks. So stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the DawgHouse, where men are men and Phil is Phil.
I was going to say, and the moose run scared?
Well, that would be in Montana.
Good I wasn't on camera. I'm like cleaning eye goobers out.
Well, I'm going to talk about
I don't know if it's.
see,
I don't.
right.
Can I interrupt you for a second? I'm sorry.
You
'cause I
already
just
have.
did. I'm sorry. I already did. But you just when you said that men are men in here, as opposed to Bruce Jenner, who's now getting a lot of play for his complete new body and everything, which I think that's all. I know it's got nothing to do with motorcycles, but I can't help it because he said that. Have you seen the stuff that's been going on?
Yeah, no, I saw the picture of Bruce Jenner, and I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. Because, I mean, he was like the epitome of a man's man when I was a kid, man. He was
the guy
decathlon,
decathlon. Yeah,
whatever it is.
First gold medal decathlete for the U.S. in a long time.
And I mean, he was like, man, everybody wants to be Bruce Jenner. Oh, well, we wrong.
Yeah.
No, glad I'm not.
It's just amazingly scary what they can do with plastic surgery because the change in him in a matter of a few weeks.
In other words, he turned you off.
Oh, God, no.
Ken had that.
Airbrushing does wonders. For
Ken. I think they did a hell of an airbrushing job. I think you're right. I think you hit right on that. Got nothing to do with motorcycles, but I'm sorry.
Well, I'll take that as a segue right into the first topic of the evening.
You're going to talk about transgendered motorcycles?
No, I'm going to talk about the shooting in Waco.
Why?
Well, there's just a lot of interesting stuff that popped out about that.
Something new? Is there new stuff?
Probably not.
Not really new, but also not really known as well, because there's not been a lot of reporting on the Waco shooting. You don't really see it on CNN. You don't see it on Fox. You don't see it on any of the major American newscasts.
Not after the initial story.
After the first couple days, it just basically disappeared.
Right.
And so I've been scouring the internets and all the weird places around there. And
all right.
Discounting
most
all
of the stuff. What
no,
you got
wait a minute. I've discounted all the conspiracy stuff and just tried to hunt down what appeared to be factoids that I could determine from looking at multiple sites and reading multiple stories. And most of the stuff I've seen have come from the local Texas, Waco and surrounding territory newspapers and television stations.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So some of the stuff is that, again, no video has been released. So we're at almost 3 weeks after this event's occurred. There was a security system.
You're not going to see that, though.
Oh, no, really?
No,
just about any other time you see
the
video comes out.
You're so wrong on that.
No, I'm not.
Look at how long it took them to release the Tony Stewart video. It was 4 or 5 months after that kid ran in front of his sprint car.
Let's put it this way. I'm sure we won't see any video until they get done with the charging of everybody, because they arrested all these people and
they've all been charged.
Yeah, but they're not. A lot of them are going to end up not being charged. You're going to have people that.
I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
But anyway, there's two, and it turns out there was a second video. So you had the original one that came from the Twin Peaks security system. And then across the parking lot at the Don Carlos restaurant, they had a video surveillance system that recorded all the stuff that occurred in the parking lot. Now, supposedly the AP people, reporters, have seen the one from Twin Peaks. And they said that, you see one guy with a gun on the patio for a few seconds, and then all you see the rest of the time is people running around trying to hide.
Well, that happens when gunfire starts.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't matter where it does happen.
That's right.
So that was one curiosity, is that nothing's leaked out on any videos. A lot of other places you get leaks and you get all kinds of other stuff going on.
Yeah, but
and you see the stuff.
You don't in this kind of thing.
Okay, go ahead, Phil.
You just don't in this kind of thing, because the video has already been picked up by federal officials. They went in. The first thing they did is they went in there. They confiscated that stuff. They took the local cops right out of the mix.
All right. One of the next factoid was that this was an actual Council of Clubs and Independents meeting, and they had an agenda and everything. Now, it seems like that the Banditos and the Cossacks had alternative motives for showing up in the numbers, and that was to cause issues.
Yeah, it was on the agenda, because I think the agenda said they call the meeting to order. They talk about cross club stuff. Item number 3, start shooting. Number 4,
I think that was
number 4,
actually
break out the clubs.
Actually, it was number 5 on the list.
Okay.
One of the things was that they were going to go over the bills that they had pending in the Texas legislature, because 3 of the people who were arrested were the ones who wrote the bills and were shepherding them through all the legislature procedures. They're going through all the committees and getting them.
Wait a minute. Some of these people that were involved in the meeting were actual Texas legislators?
No, they were the lobbyists for the motorcycle folks to go up there and were the ones pushing the bills through the committees and everything.
Okay, that just so sours me on the whole 1%er club thing now, because if a 1%er club's hiring lobbyists.
See, these weren't these are all 1%ers.
Old 1%. Wait a minute. The Banditos are not 1%ers?
I said not all of the ones there were.
Okay, but if you're a 1% club, in the old days, the way you do it is you go find a legislator and you threaten to kill them and all their family if they don't do what you want.
I mean, that's America.
That's America.
I grew up in an area where if you wanted a law passed, you talked to the local politician and he showed you the off-the-records bill of what it would cost you to get said law. You want a stoplight in your neighborhood? It's an $800 donation.
Here's your menu.
Right, here's your menu.
Yeah.
The fact that 1% clubs now have lobbyists is
the three of these people that were arrested and are still in jail, from what I can tell, weren't 1% club affiliates. They were there to do the legislative actions and talk about what's going on there.
They were like the lobbyists.
Yes, not for the banditos or the Cossacks.
Lobbyists are bad. Listen, they were getting arrested because all we've heard the last 10 years is how bad lobbyists are. So the federal government's like, oh, we got these three.
Along the same line, the city of Waco, in the middle of last week, passed a proclamation for motorcycle safety, which happened to be sponsored by Sandra Lynch, who had to accept the proclamation in absentia because she was one of the 170 arrested.
Okay. And that means what?
I'm just saying, this is just factoids. There's some of them are going to stir you up, and some of them aren't.
I don't.
She's supposedly not a 1%er.
I guess what I'm saying here is I don't even care anymore. You know what? Bad things happen. You put groups of people together that hate each other. Bad things happen. If you get stuck in the middle of it, usually bad things happen to you too.
Wait, Phil.
Come to my family reunion for Christ's sake. You can spend 6 months in jail from that.
Come on now. Hate's such a strong word.
What did I say? Hate?
Yeah, it's hate.
Strong dislike.
Strongly dislike, much better.
Strongly dislike. I'm sorry, I did say hate. Yes. I apologize. Yes. Nobody hates anybody. We all love each other.
Yeah, you gotta be correct.
I'm just at a point now where that lady. I had to accept it in jail. Well, you know what? Stupid. Pay attention. Okay, I am not a club member biker. All right, I've never been in a motorcycle club. Not a 1% club, not a riding club, not a social club, not any of those kind of clubs. And I'm smart enough to know that when two large groups of bike clubs that hate each other, strongly dislike each other, show up, to get the hell out of there.
Well, part of the problem with this, from what I can tell, is that even if I was one of the people there and I saw what was happening and wanted to get out of, see, here comes a bunch of banditos and I already see 100 Cossacks in the area. Okay, it's time to leave. There wasn't time to leave. I mean, this stuff's occurred almost as soon as the banditos rolled into the parking lot, and a couple of the Cossacks accosted some of the bandito leaders when they were trying to park, and that set it all off. So
that's allegedly.
Who were
allegedly?
But these were the again.
Well, no, it's not really alleged because that's what the police were saying. That's allegedly.
Thank you.
But even if you wanted to leave, you probably couldn't have it by this time.
Wait a minute. Were there any black people shot?
No.
Okay, then you can trust the cops.
The truth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right,
because we're already racist on iTunes.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Another factoid was that the police initially put out that over 1,000 weapons had been confiscated as part of this. Well, they downgraded that to just a little bit under 400.
So that's like still over to a guy.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now.
Yeah.
If you went to my hometown, nearest Walmart, in November during hunting season, and you roped off the same size parking area, you'd probably get over 400.
That's a fair point.
That's a fair point. Here's what I am saying though, and I don't know the laws in Texas. Okay,
I'm not positive. I think they have open carry.
Yes,
just got that. They just got that. That's not the law I'm concerned that I'm going to talk about. I know that I believe in Virginia, and there are a couple people here with Virginia pistol licenses or at least guns. I believe you're not allowed to take your firearm into a place that serves alcoholic beverages.
Wrong.
You're not allowed to sit at the bar area.
You're not allowed to consume alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the say is
you can shoot people that are consuming.
We should say what Dirk is saying because
you can carry into a bar. You can. You don't want to use it in the bar. As long as you don't consume alcohol while you're in the bar, you can have your pistol out in open carry.
Right.
Or even concealed carry now.
But the thing is that it was these were all 1% clubs that were having this meeting.
No, they were not. And I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Okay, yeah, okay. I want to hear this.
Okay.
Okay.
There was 170 people arrested. Out of the 170, 115 had no criminal records.
That
They
doesn't
do
mean
now.
They do now.
Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
How does that not make you a member of a 1% club?
That doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you don't have a criminal record, you don't have a criminal record.
No, that's not what makes you a 1% club. Okay.
Not out of the 9 people
You know what gets you a
killed-
criminal record? Getting caught.
Out of 9 people killed, 4 had no criminal records.
Doesn't make you not a member of a 1% club.
All of them except one apparently had either a link to the Banditos or to the Cossacks
Okay, a link.
of some type. They either
Right.
had the patches or something.
And
But they had
the last
guy-
one does have a link now because he was shot at one of their
one of their
fights.
events. One of their events.
One of their events.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
And that last guy was 65-year-old Jesus Rodriguez, and his family has been very adamant that he was not affiliated with either of the two groups.
Well, we know there were other people at the restaurant
Yeah.
that were not members of 1% clubs, but the whole point of this meeting, a 1% club is not meeting with your garden variety club. That's
No.
not what this meeting was about.
Well, I'm not arguing
Okay,
that.
okay.
I'm just saying there was
Right.
other stuff going on besides the 1% activity.
Yeah, well,
supposedly
it
was
was a
supposed to
public
occur.
restaurant,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, people are going to be there, but
Well, no, I mean it was a club council meeting.
and of 1% clubs or their affiliates.
No,
And independents.
and independents. It was just a general area
Why?
club council
Why were
meeting.
the independents there?
Not
It
independents,
was
but other clubs?
It was the
It's the regional coalition
Yeah.
of club meetings. They have them in Fredericksburg and Winchester and all places around here. And,
and this-
sometimes 1% clubs
and here's
show
a
up.
list of some of the clubs that were there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course you had the Banditos and their associate club, the Vaqueros, the Cossacks and the Scimitars, but you also had the Leathernecks, which is a Marine Corps based club, not known to be a 1% club.
Were they there at the event, or were they actually part?
They're
They-
probably part of the coalition.
They were part of the coalition of clubs, and they were arrested. You had members of the Veterans MC.
Definitely 1%. Those things are 1%. You know how many veterans were left alive? Not many. 1%. Just my saying.
All right. Their club is not necessarily considered a 1% club, though. The Booze Fighters, not necessarily considered a 1%
Not necessarily,
club.
but there are people that will debate that.
Well, the
Most of them are booze
They,
fighters.
they may be a 0.5% club.
the Gypsy Motorcycle Club. Now, I actually had to go hunting for them to figure out what they were. And the only reason I could discover them was they wore gold vest, and their back patch is a pickle riding a motorcycle.
Oh,
So
yeah, you got to be 1% to do that. You know.
If you're not, you damn sure are the toughest.
Otherwise, you're going to get the
club I've
pickle.
ever
You don't want to get the pickle.
Wow, okay.
So
That's gonna get us hate mail. I'm sorry,
I
but-
determined they weren't a 1% club. You had the Vice Grip Club.
Definitely 1%. Anybody put the vice.
Anything you can buy in Home Depot.
That's right. Makes you 1%. Definitely.
This bunch of guys are all about building and riding pre-1970 Harleys.
Oh, that actually sounds like a cool group of guys.
Yeah, it does.
I mean,
And-
they spread a lot of oil around the country.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now, the 3 that were there, they were arrested, and I got no indication that they were 1%ers. The 3 were arrested. They have bonded out. One of the few. There's only been 12 people who bonded out so far, and they were one of the few that have.
Well, hell, they can have their meeting in prison. That means.
Right, they can have it at lunchtime.
Right. Yeah.
And they got. I think their bond was reduced to $25,000, and they had a lot of stipulations they had to meet, like wearing an ankle bracelet and not being inside the county and that kind of
So
stuff.
that you go have breakfast at the wrong place, you can end up with an ankle bracelet.
Yep.
Cool.
The Nam Knights, another group of not known to be 1%ers. They were arrested as well.
About 1% of those guys are still alive from NAM, but anyway,
Yep,
okay.
and then there was 2 groups that I saw several patches, but I just could not find them anywhere. One, it looked like a red devil's head.
Oh no, not the Laughing Devils.
No, not exactly. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it, but no, it wasn't the Laughing Devils. And another group that had a green skull inside a bunch of lightning bolts. And there were several of those guys, and I've never seen that one, and I couldn't find any other references to them.
Those would be the lightning skulls.
Don't know if they're 1%, though.
He made that up.
Yeah, I just made that up.
He just made that up.
I know.
I think they're 3%.
So-
okay, go ahead.
So, again, does any of that matter in the grand scheme? I mean, they all got arrested because 9 people got killed at a restaurant on a Sunday afternoon, and they were part of the group that caused that. Not that they were part of the club, but it was
That's
their
not the way American law is supposed to work.
No, yes, it is.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just because you're in the area.
They weren't in the area.
And just
they
because
were,
no, even the Cossacks and I'm 100% correct on this.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. Even if I'm
I'll
wearing
be the
a
deciding
Cossacks,
factor.
even if I'm wearing a Cossacks or a Bandito's vest, and I'm not directly involved with the shooting that occurs, I'm not guilty of anything.
No, because the event was not a Cossacks or a Banditos event. It was the coalition of clubs. So if you were there for that, they're going to arrest you. Because that is the sanctioning body that took care of that.
Most of the people who got arrested
I mean, that's what happened, right?
Most of the people who got arrested,
answer my question. That's what happened?
They just rounded up everybody.
Right, because everybody was there for the club meeting. No!
Yes! Just because
if I was there, I would have expected to be arrested too.
Oh, wait, why did they arrest the people at the Juan Carlos restaurant? They were within 100 feet.
Because none of them people had a green card.
Some of them were closer.
Okay,
Some of them are closer to the action.
I'm going to settle this right now because it really is time for us to take a break. We're running a little bit long. But we come back, Warren's going to tell us about what you can do to get your club up to a 1% level. Because we're... So you don't want to miss that. So that's coming up on the other side of this break. So stick around, folks, because we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the DawgHouse. We're going to talk a little racing. We had a whole bunch of
Can we talk a lot of racing?
We're going to talk a lot of racing.
Okay.
You know what? We're going to talk a lot. Because we have flat track. We had Moto America. We had Motocross. And we had MotoGP. We had a lot of motos.
Mm-hmm.
Just a ton of motos.
Do you know that there is actually a little bit of banking on some of the flat tracks?
Yes.
That's very confusing.
I know.
I know.
Well,
I want to say that.
And a couple of the flat track races, there's jumps and left-hand turn and right-hand turns.
Right.
So it's definitely not all
flat track. Right.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It gets a little confusing. So they were at the Sacramento Mile. And
because the Springfield Mile was done a week ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they were at the Sacramento Mile. And once again, Skip's brother, Troy Bayless, did not make the main event. I don't know if that's his brother, but they're probably related.
Well, if Skip was out there, he'd be doing a lot better.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because, surprisingly, I'm kind of really shocked that Troy Bayless hasn't made a final. I just am.
I'm not.
I don't know. I mean...
when was the last time that Skip Bayless won an event?
I don't know. He doesn't even win his own down in Australia, so... All right, that's a valid point. But I just was a little shocked. Anyways, the flat track was at Sacramento. Good race. I don't know if you guys got to catch it. I watched it on FansChoice.tv, I believe. Yep.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't get to see the flat track at all.
It's available on demand on there.
Yeah, it's available on demand there, so that's always nice. Like I said, it's the only thing DMG does good about two-wheel racing.
That's because it's not actually DMG. They hired somebody to do it.
Yeah, I know.
If DMG did it, it would cost a lot of money, and it would make no sense.
Yeah, that's true.
And you wouldn't be able to see it.
But Brian Smith won for the 5th year in a row at Sacramento, which is amazing.
That's called owning the track.
Yeah, he owns that track, and it was on a last lap pass.
Wow.
You know, I mean, they were. It seemed. I know they race a couple mile tracks, but Sacramento, when you're watching it, just seems so much bigger than the other tracks.
Okay.
You know, and they're running around, and there was a group of 3 or 4 guys that spent the whole time in the beginning. Sometimes it would get to 5 guys. One guy kind of lost it a little on a turn, pushed out wide, and it dropped. But 4 guys, which included Robinson, Mees, Baker, sometimes Cool Breath, and
Cool Beth.
Cool Beth. I like Cool Breath better.
He did it again.
And Miller, who was a local guy, and they would all trade the lead, and you could be going down the backstretch because drafting there is important, and the Kawasaki got some power. Mm-hmm. And you'd go in and you'd be like 3rd, and then all of a sudden it'd be 3 wide just before the turn, and you'd come in the turn, and the guy who was in 4th would be leading, the guy in 1st would be in 3rd, and I mean, it was all over the place.
Drafting makes a huge difference.
It does.
With those bikes, because those bikes have zero aerodynamics.
Yeah.
So if you can get tucked behind somebody, you don't have to push all that air out of the way. It makes a big difference.
And they were just trading. There were a lot of lead changes. It was some good racing. Points wise, my boy Cool Breath. I'm gonna start calling him Cool Breeze. Cool Breeze is totally in the lead.
Let's call them Altoids.
Altoids. All right, I got this. Mies is in second in points. Then Robinson, Halbert, Smith, and Brad the Bullet is right there around 6th place. But it was some good racing. They don't race for a couple weeks now. I think it's like 4 weeks before their next race. It was just it's just good. No, it's not. It's 3 weeks because they race. The next time they race, I believe, is Hagerstown.
Oh, okay.
June 20th, our local flat track event. We might have to sneak up to that.
Can we get media credentials?
I don't know.
I think we tried before, and they said
no. That was that amateur thing. I don't know if we ever put in for country. Well, we'll try.
Okay.
Then Moto America was in Sagi, Wisconsin.
Because they bring the weather with them.
Right, because obviously,
It only travels where we're not.
Right. They really should write us a check and pay our expenses so that we bring sunshine.
At a minimum.
Yeah.
Hookers would work, too.
Yeah. And I would...
One or the other?
No. Or a good hamburger.
No.
I would
First, you pay our expenses. Hookers are optional.
Yeah, hookers are optional. But not check hookers, because I don't want it to take forever to get there.
Hookers are just a way to show that you care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Five Guys is just bonus?
But that's just extra meat after the hookers.
That's exactly right.
So they were there at Road America, which is a great track. A lot of the riders seem to like it.
Pretty countryside there in Elkhart, Wisconsin. Yeah. Nice area.
But they did get the rain and the wet. And
it was very wet.
Yeah.
And the wind and all that other good stuff that comes with that. Super Sport racing. If we could pick Super Sport in the pool, I'd be doing okay because Heron pulled a 1 and a 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's doing well.
We don't mention him a lot, but Thomas Puerta is having a pretty good season.
Tomas Puerta.
He's having a pretty good season, and we never really mention him, and maybe we'll have to track him down at Barber.
Okay.
Because we don't ever seem to mention him. J.D. Beach won the second race and came in I think it was 5th in the first race.
And I think he's leading the points, too.
Well, him and Heron are tied now.
They're now tied, okay.
Yeah, because Heron had the 1 and the 2,
okay.
The first and the second, so they're tied at 140 points. Mm. So that's cool. I'd like to see Josh do well. But I'm also a J.D. Beach fan because to me, J.D. Beach is just one of them guys where if it's got 2 wheels, he'll race it.
Yep.
And race it well.
And race it well, right.
Yeah,
he doesn't embarrass himself.
Right.
And Bobby Fong, he had a 5th and a 6th, but, he's not really Asian.
He's not really Asian. No, he is Asian. He really is. He doesn't admit to it, but he is Asian.
Right, he doesn't look it.
I hate to tell you that when one of your parents is Filipino and Chinese, you are Asian.
Yeah, but, maybe if he looked it, he would go faster or something. But I don't know.
He's hiding it.
He's hiding
He's in denial.
Then he'd be Egyptian.
Oh, God.
Oh. We need to put the sound effects back so I go,
yeah, right.
But anyways, the Super Sport races, I only saw the highlights of those because they didn't have the whole race put up, and unfortunately I had to do prep work on the truck Sunday because Idaho pulled, and we wouldn't be going to Barber if that bad boy blew up on the road.
I was going to say, thank God that happened now.
Yeah, I was like, whoo, dodged a bullet.
Big bullet.
Then the Superbike races, which were both on Sundays,
and Super Stock.
And Super
Super Stock 1000.
I'm sorry. Yes, both of them raced. Race 1, Boubier won. Because Josh Hayes took a spill, got himself back up to, I believe, 7th. But he took a spill, and pretty much right now it seems like the only way he beat Josh Hayes is if he beats Josh Hayes.
I think that's
seems
true.
That way.
I think that's true.
So in the first race, Boubier, Hayden, and Lewis, who's another guy who we probably should track down while we're out there because we don't really give him a lot of talk either.
We talking Jake Lewis?
Yeah, Jake Lewis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we should. You're right. We don't.
We're going to make a good point. We're going to make a good point because he's actually having a pretty good season.
Right.
and it was soggy, and then the second race looked even wetter than the first race.
I was gonna say it was well beyond soggy.
It was definitely soggy.
Downpour, more like it.
Yeah, and they had
I was surprised they even would run it in those conditions. I mean, 'cause
they're
that
not
was
NASCAR.
really-
These are men.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. These are men.
This is pretty bad. This is probably the worst of all the tracks they've been running with the rain.
If they red flag a motorcycle race in the rain, it's because of a problem with the track more than it is with the racers.
Yeah.
You know?
But it looked like part of the track was underwater at times.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's not a big problem.
Yeah.
The bigger problem is the lightning and like oil mixing in with the water.
And I'll be totally honest with you. So a lot of the tracks they could care less about whether you're out there running on the track when it's raining. They're worried about you going off the track when it's raining because they don't want you tearing up all the turf.
Yeah, the turf, the wall.
So if they have runoffs, they're going to be less concerned about it. If they don't, a lot of these tracks don't. They don't really want to see you tear up the grass. So, and motorcycles flipping in the grass, it pretty much destroys it. So
Yeah. Again, I was surprised they ran it the second one.
no, I'm used to that. In motorcycle racing, you don't let the weather slow you down. That's for these.
It's these guys who claim they're the 50 best drivers in the world.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, Ken and I a few years ago went to a Daytona 500 party, and it was the year where they had the 72 hours of Daytona because they finished on like Tuesday night or whatever.
That's right.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, and everybody was sitting there, and they were all like, "When's the race going to be on?" And Ken and I are watching World Superbike, and I think where were they? Phillip Isle?
No, they were.
Phillips Isle.
Was it
starting
Phillips
their
Isle?
season. Yeah, it's the
I
start
think
of
you could
their
be right.
season.
Yeah.
And it was monsooning, and they're shooting these big rooster tails off, and we're like, "Look, men race."
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny, but Hayes came out in the second race, and he laid it down and got himself back out in front. Boubier came in second, and by far, those are the two class acts of the.
Well, it's no big surprise. I mean, you change the series, the story doesn't change much.
No, it doesn't.
Although Roger Hayden's doing pretty good. I mean, he's doing good, but
I just don't think he has the bike.
No, he doesn't. I mean, nobody's got the bike to beat two Yamahas, two Graves Yamahas right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't hurt that they have two pretty talented riders as well.
Yeah, that never hurts.
Even though one of them didn't talk to us in Virginia.
Well, maybe you should try being nicer, Ken.
I'm going to try next time. You wrecked your bike.
Yeah, I can just see.
I bet that hurt.
I bet Ken's first word is going to be at Barber to Josh Hayes. It's probably going to be something like, "Whoo! Did that wreck at Motor America hurt? What's seventh place like?"
My first comment's going to be, "Hey, Josh, you stay on today?"
Yeah. See, and that's why we get no love from there.
Oh, other racers love that though.
Yeah, they kind of do. But that wrapped that up. And then, like I said, in 2 weeks they're going to be at Barber Motorsports Park, and we will be there.
Yeah.
I had to think about that.
Where are we going?
Where are we going? Well, I was going to say Birmingham,
which is where Barber.
which is where it is, but that's not the name of the track.
Right.
So definitely, check it out.
This may be the last year for Barber Racetrack. Aren't they trying to sell it?
Well, it's not. I guarantee it's not going anywhere because they have probably.
Rename
I think you're talking Miller.
Yeah.
Miller Motorsports Park.
I am.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
It is Miller.
And the county has announced they want to keep it open.
Right, but it's probably going to get a new name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The Miller family isn't going to run it anymore.
Right, exactly.
Barber probably isn't going to change.
Yeah, you're
till,
right.
I mean, even if the next person buys it, they'll probably keep it Barber.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I would. It'd be foolish not to. Then we had MotoGP in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mugello.
Do we want to take a break?
We did. Yeah, I think probably.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some MotoGP in Italy. Mugello.
And some motocross at a mile high.
The home
Oh my gosh! And I didn't even get to
the home of Ducati.
and the home of Ducati. And we got to talk motocross. So we'll come back. We'll talk motocross. Then we'll talk Mugello.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back, right, Phil?
Yeah, we'll be right back.
I think you.
Is that the same music we heard on the last break?
It could be.
Could be. We'll have to work on that. I must have screwed something
I wasn't
up.
keeping track of it, but
But it just sounded like it because I was like, wait, I just heard that song.
it sounds like the same music that we had in that break last week.
No, I meant last break.
It's-
Not last week,
It
last
probably
break.
sounds like the music that Eli Tomac heard when he went head first into the rut.
No, he heard stuff that sounded like a cartoon, like
I don't
tweet,
think
tweet, tweet, tweet,
Yeah, I was
little
gonna
birds
say-
and stars
yeah,
going around.
right. He saw a lot of stars. I know that.
Because that dude, Eli Tomac might be broken. But let's talk 250s first. Jeremy Martin again,
Look
just
good.
kicking ass in the outdoor season. Zach, I said Zach Osborne. Zach Osborne had a pretty good weekend.
Which is Ozzy's son, right?
Yeah, it's Ozzy's son.
Yeah.
Ozzy's other son.
Mhm.
And Adam Cianciarolla's finally starting maybe to get back a little healthier because he was looking good this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was happy to see that. As you know,
They didn't tangle with anybody this week.
yeah, he avoided the crashes. Marvin Musquin had a really crappy and kept falling down in race 1.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I think the track was probably the roughest of the ones they've been to so far. It was,
And it was breaking apart easily. So when they would hit it, there was no consistency to it. Lap after lap, it just didn't seem. The consistency was
Right.
crappy.
Yes. I agree.
So he spent a lot of time chewing some dirt on.
Now,
in the
I didn't
first
see
race.
the first moto because I couldn't find it on TV and I didn't have a chance to run it down.
Well, I
but
just want to let
they
you
said
know.
he broke his collar.
Yeah, if just so you know, in the future, for future reference, and also for our listeners and viewers out there, that if you actually you search Lucas Motocross, it'll take you to the Pro Motocross website where they have all the races on demand.
Yeah.
All
Good
of
to
them.
know.
So you can
all of
always
them.
watch them online.
You can watch both the highlights, or if you don't have time to watch the whole races, or you can watch the entire races. They have them on there.
Yeah.
Now,
And they're pretty quick about putting them up.
And I
Right.
watched the second moto, and it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were kind of all, it was rough, and then the track just seemed to keep getting worse, and the 450 guys, by the time they hit it each day, it was even worse.
Yeah, but one thing I do note that's pretty common. I mean, when you get the outdoor season, the tracks get torn up pretty bad.
Yeah, but this one
It was really, really,
Yeah, but
really
it's they rut up and it's
Well,
not.
it's more than just the ruts. I mean, it was just.
It wasn't if I had run it up, it
I-
wouldn't have been bad. The problem is it looked like they'd go in, and when they gassed it into the ruts would break apart.
Yes.
And
Yeah, it was
and
the- it's
it
the-
would
it
just
was the-
fall. It would crumble. It was like they didn't wet it.
Yeah, it's just that's just the.
But
I
it
mean,
had been raining a lot
this
there.
is this is number one.
they cleaned it
It's a
off.
very high altitude track, just outside Denver. It's a very high altitude track, and it's just the nature of the they don't bring dirt in like they do in Supercross.
Yeah, right.
So you're going to get different compoundings of mixtures of dirt, and in that area there, it does tend to get very crumbly. So there's not much you can do about it. But having been in the position of these guys are in before, I don't. That doesn't bother me as much as the ruts that you don't get. If you watch a track where you see a bunch of parallel ruts, that's a nightmare for a racer because you'd rather have a deep rut going into a curve than a series of individual ruts. With
They seem
tires.
to have a series of parallel deep ruts.
Yes,
They kept
yes,
fall- they kept
and
falling
that's
apart.
But that's the worst situation because it's easier to have a single, even if it's a deep rut, to follow through.
Right.
A portion of when you get the multiple ones like that, sometimes your front and your rear of the bike don't go in the same place. They don't end up in the same rut,
Well,
which is scary.
Yeah.
Which is very, very scary because the bike will take off on you, in a way you don't expect. So, I just think that's just kind of the nature
It's the
of the
outdoor
beast.
season.
It's
Yeah.
the outdoor season, and that's a bit of the nature of the beast. And the guys that are better at dealing with that. And by the way, not Roxon, but Tomac's one of the guys I'm very impressed. He seems to handle changing track conditions better than anybody else now.
Not
This-
in the
Well,
second
in
moto.
the first race that was true, and he came out.
No,
and,
I think it's true. I
He
think that's
yanked
true.
out yeah,
I
mean,
think that's
he
true
just
in
had,
general.
Yeah, in general.
Right.
He came out and he won the first race, and it
Mm-hmm.
looked like, I think it was only like 12 seconds, which.
Oh, 14. It was 14.
Oh
in race
yeah,
one.
and he's like, you're like, wow, that's a big win, but
That's close for him.
for him, that's like a nail biter.
Yeah.
And Dungy came in second. Roxon had a third, and those guys were kind of mixing it up and and stuff. And a lot of guys were going down. And then in the second race, I mean, the big news of the weekend is in the second race, Tomac took a tumble and a half.
Yeah.
Oh,
got
yeah.
up hurt, holding his hand and his arm, and
Yeah.
And they took his boot off, but what I heard earlier today was, and this is what I thought initially had happened because I've done this myself. He looked to me like he separated his shoulder when he hit, because the way his shoulder dangled a little bit when he got up.
You know, that's actually surprises me because he seemed like he was holding his wrist. That was the thing that I noticed.
Well, when I've done it, I was supporting my.
No, I
let it go down.
Yeah, I realized that, but that was my first thought that he had broken his wrist.
But the way he was holding his shoulder, but it turns out today one of the reports was that he did separate his shoulder, and they're expecting him to be back next week. That's going to be a hell of a thing because that son of a bitch is going to be sore for weeks.
No,
and
he
weeks.
won't be sore at all because they get these things called painkiller injections before the race.
Cortisone shot.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's not going to be feeling, and he can be getting something a whole lot stronger than cortisone.
Now, Monday next week, he going to be sore.
Yes.
Well, from my personal experience, once you separate it, it gets easier to separate.
That is true.
And once you separate it 3 times, it'll pop out by itself anytime it wants to.
Yeah, that's a little scary. But he's young and flexible, and he probably...
He's not that young, though.
Yeah, he's young.
Isn't he like 30?
Okay, that would be young.
That's young for us, but for a motocross guy, I mean, he's practically a grandfather.
That's still Chad. Chad Reed's what, 37?
Chad Reed is ancient. I mean, when we talk about Chad Reed, we call him the old man.
Well, let's put it this way: when I talk, he may be older, getting a little long in the tooth, as they say in motocross. But the thing is, 30-year-old guys in good physical shape heal a lot better than older guys. Okay, all right, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was
his wreck allowed Roxon to get around him and take the first place position, and then Dungey
ate him
was right behind him, and then Roxon spilt his bike twice, which allowed Dungey to get around.
Yeah.
Now I did hear after in the post-race interviews where Roxon said he had a front tire go flat, and that's why he kept spilling the bike.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it made sense, but I couldn't tell it from the footage that that's what was happening, but. That's what he was claiming. Yeah,
I think that's probably... I find it really hard to believe that he's going to come out and say that because there'd be a whole lot of evidence whether it was true or not when the bike came off the track.
Right.
So I don't think he wanted to look like a total idiot afterwards.
No. But, that allowed Dungey to get around him, and now he's in the points lead.
Yeah, Mr. Consistency. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's again proving you don't have to win every race to end up in the points lead now.
Well, it helps when the guy that you're competing with scores no points, right?
Goes to Zippy.
Right.
He does a Martin in the pool.
If he's going to be counting on that, I would not count on Ken Roczen wrecking very often because he doesn't. I mean, not Ken Roczen, I mean Tomac.
Yeah, I know. Tomac's another guy.
And the other guy that they need to worry about, they got to start worrying about Roczen. Roczen's getting better every week.
Yeah, he's getting better every week. And,
for somebody who says he's not at 100%, he looks
doing pretty damn good.
He looks like he's 100%.
And I believe he's not 100%. That just tells you how good. If you watched him last year, he was dominant in the outdoor season last year.
He's that good. It's just getting him healthy and he's adjusting to a new bike and stuff like that. So, but that kind of where are they next?
Did you just look at the schedule?
No, I looked for World Superbike. I think they're in Tennessee next, right?
I don't know.
Isn't it Blanton or whatever it is?
Should I go look?
No, that's why Dirk is here.
That's why we have a producer. He's
that's why we have
run out to the hallway.
He's supposed to be in charge. Oh, you know what? I can't tell you. Don't bother because I'm pretty sure that calendar is wrong because they changed the calendar after I made that.
Oh.
And you know what? Here, as I pull up the schedule for MotoGP, is not going to tell me the schedule for that. So I'm just going to say I'm a donk.
Right.
Thunder Valley, Tennessee is next. I was right.
Okay.
June 6th. So, is that this weekend? Yes, that's this weekend. Okay. I'm not good with math.
Right. And I don't know what's going on next week and the fall weekend after that because we won't get to see anything.
Why not? They don't have TVs in Alabama?
What are we going to catch on TV when we're at the track?
The interwebs when we get back to the hotel? They don't have the internet in Alabama?
Yeah, you guys can snuggle in the bed and watch Ken's
tablet. We might be able to.
You can hold your tablet between you two.
Upside down?
No, it's only if the free hookers arrive.
Yeah,
it's the only way there's going to be any snuggling going on.
There will be snuggling going on.
That's the only way.
Yeah.
That just kind of bothers me on several different levels. But okay.
It should. Don't worry. We'll put it up on Periscope for you, Warren, so you can watch it. How's that? I will do that for you.
Ain't no way I'm periscoping me with a free hooker. I'm sorry.
Not you, me.
Sorry, I draw the line at giving divorce aid to my wife.
Yeah,
they do a good enough job on their own.
If she can't save it, you're good to go. then that's like teasing her and be like,
Yeah, well, there's only 1,500 witnesses. Great.
yeah, you know. Yeah, but they will only be there for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't own much, but I'd rather keep a little more than 50%
Yeah,
of it.
you don't have nothing worth owning.
That's true.
So the other racing that happened this weekend was MotoGP in Mugello.
Mugello.
And Moto2, obviously Moto2 and Moto3 race there too. Moto3 had Miguel Oliveira. Finally, somebody beat Danny Kent.
Yeah.
Like, actually on the track racing, beating him.
That's because Danny Kent stopped and had a smoke in the middle of the race.
That is probably
And that
true.
screwed him up. He didn't,
he's like, my family made cigarettes. So
That's right, exactly.
But that was about the Moto3 race. It was actually pretty good this week. Nobody walked away with the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Moto2, Ken's favorite guy, who I'm a little confused why his real name is Esteve Rabat. We call him Tito Rabat, and I call him Chico Rabat, and sometimes Kickstart
Right.
Rabat. But now I've also met a Spanish guy who everybody calls him Tito, and his first name's Robert. So I just think if you're Spanish, everybody calls you Tito.
Apparently.
I'm just assuming.
Apparently. And everybody that I've ever met that they call Tito, their name is nothing like Tito.
Right. It's never like Titonio or anything like that.
Right.
Or Titalonia. I don't know.
Titalonia.
Titalonia, something like
Tits
that.
and ass. None of that stuff.
So the Moto2 race, again, I just think Moto2 is going to be each weekend who's better.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you one thing about
And on what
Moto2.
track?
Moto2, it's almost useless to watch practice and qualify.
It is. It really is.
Well, wasn't Rabat the fastest in?
Yeah, I mean, Rabat broke
Practice,
track records
Yeah,
and all
so
kinds
this time
of
it
stuff.
would have made some sense to watch.
No, because actually Sam Lowe's, I believe, won the pole in Moto2. Isn't that correct?
Oh, no. Chico Rabat?
No, I think Sam Lowe's did, and
Hold on, I
Chico
will
was
pull
second
that
place,
up.
I thought.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Sam Lowe's won the...
Oh, that's right.
That's
He
right.
was fastest in practice.
Right, right.
You're right.
And Zarco had terrible practice and qualifying. Way down, and he battled for the win.
Yeah.
So...
I agree. It's not.
Well, especially in Moto2.
Yeah, Moto2 didn't seem to be... Like, again, it's another week that's gone by in Moto2, and I still don't feel comfortable saying this is the person who I think is going to be dominating.
Oh, I do.
And you think Rabat? You think he's back?
No.
Zarco?
I think Zarco's going to win the championship. I'll make that prediction right now. He's done better consistently than anybody else in there. He's capable of winning any weekend, and Rabat can win, but it's a crapshoot with him this year. I don't know if it's him or the bike or hunger type thing, but
See, I'm
Now,
always
he won this weekend. That was good because
that's right. That was his only win so far this season.
Yeah, but
and he's
I
had
picked him in the pool, so
he
he
right.
did okay this week.
Yeah, which you needed that.
I needed that
You did need that.
Yeah.
Mark. Which
because my other guy in MotoGP.
the VCO. So
Oh man,
how can you pick a Ducati? Have I not said enough bad things about
You
Ducati?
could have picked a Ducati. You just picked the wrong
You
one.
just picked the wrong Ducati.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, the Divioso disappointed me again. See, like every time I pick him, something happens to him, and this time his bike failed.
So
him.
you think he's disappointing you? Look how disappointed he is in you. He's probably sitting there. That guy stopped picking
Put
me.
all the pressure on
podium.
me.
All the pressure. I can't handle it.
Yeah, you overpressured him.
I didn't think Lorenzo could win 3 in a row.
I still don't think he can win 3 in a row.
I watched him do
No,
it.
I quit watching in the middle of the race.
That's pretty
you
good.
gave up.
No.
You just parked it?
Yeah, I just parked it.
Ken's like, I'm going to park it.
Yes,
I'm shocked.
I don't. I'll tell you why. Here's my again. Ken's theory of Jorge Lorenzo winning races. Mark Marquez falls off, or Mark Marquez.
Rossi qualifies lousy.
Rossi qualifies lousy,
And
and,
makes
so
it run.
fast.
and Danny Pedrosa slows down at the end of the race like he always does. That's the
Rossi
recipe.
was so fast. Somebody
Yes.
got to grab that little pencil neck dude with his big ears and say, learn how to qualify.
Yeah, bad qualifying, but his qualifying was not nearly as bad as Mark Marquez's, who set a record.
Did he qualify? Because I didn't see him in the second round.
He set a record because I understand that HRC management came into the pits area and asked if somehow Hiroshi Ayama actually had gotten on the bike.
No, see, that's where my little theory comes in. I think Marquez is like, hey, I'm a 2-time world champ. I'm gonna let my brother double for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hang out and I'm gonna just check out what's going around the track. Nobody will even know. And then he's like, oh crap, he's in like 90th place.
I want to hear your theory about what's going on with Mark Marquez.
That's what it is. It's that he's letting his brother get tracked
his brother ride?
Yeah, he's like, hey, go ahead, Alex, have fun.
I would say I believe that feasible, except they showed him in the pits. They showed him actually in the.
I can't tell the two of them apart.
I can. Oh yeah, I can. I can definitely tell them apart. One just looks younger than the other one, if that's even possible.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like they both look like the 12.
Yeah, well, the other one looks embryonic. So,
So what's going on with the Honda motorcycles? I think it's the. Yeah, Marquez has been rushing hard. Sometimes too hard.
That's what I think. Actually, I think it's,
Moto 2. Marquez
I started
is back.
doing. This is Ken's analysis. I started doing some analysis this week, and this will probably keep me from picking Marquez for a while. Marquez's entire team is intact. He's had no changes. He's got his same lead tech. He's got his same team manager. He's got all the stuff that he had last year when he won 10 in a row, right? So what could be different? Well, it's not likely that Honda isn't prepping the bike well. But it is possible. It is possible that he's
public appearances.
Well, it's a bunch of
Chuck
different. Well, yeah, but he did a lot of those last year too. I mean, after he had won 4 in a row, he started getting a lot of public appearances. I actually think it's not the bike. I think some of the other teams, Ducati, clearly the GP15 bike is way better.
I think the Yamahas are way better than they were last year.
I think the Yamahas have improved over last year, and I think that Marquez is. This kind of reminds me of in Moto 2. When he was in Moto 2, he was racing Brattle. He wrecked a fair number of times.
Oh, yes, he did.
And he wrecked because he pushed too hard.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Moto 2 Mark Marquez is back.
Yeah, that is kind of the Moto 2 Mark Marquez, where he pushes too hard, and I think both his wreck with Rossi and his wreck this week was he just was trying too hard. And I think he was talking about the fact the bike was unsettled in qualifying, and that was the thing. And I don't know whether that's a total excuse.
I don't even know what that means. That's like when somebody drinks some wine at a wine tasting and go, it lacks conviction.
Okay.
It's to me, it's just not the same. And if anybody calls me any names for knowing that,
yes,
go scratch.
Yes.
But
I think he said the steering was understated.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, he said that, and I'm like, it was unstable. What?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, here's what I think.
I don't want to hear that.
Marquez lives on his brakes. I mean, he really
Yes,
does.
he
That's
does.
his strength.
He brakes
it's
late, brakes
hard braking. Right. He's late, and he counts on late braking to make his passes in a lot of cases. And I think when he says it's unstable, what he means is that under hard braking, the bike starts to feel less secure. And if you watch the bike, I will say that bike did appear to be moving around a lot. And I don't know if that's a bad tire choice. I kind of find it hard to think it's a bad setup because unless he's not giving his team the right input. Because they set it up.
No,
right now.
You got a good point there.
Right now,
I don't remember when I watched this weekend, his bike did look like it was chattering a lot when he came into some of the turns.
It was moving around a lot more than normal.
I don't remember seeing that last
year.
year.
I think his bike has always moved around. I think the difference is I think when Marquez is in the points lead and when I think he had 2 years of invincibility. I think when he moved up, he was there and he got that like, oh man, I used to competitively pistol shoot, and there were times where I'd go out there and I'd have a great match.
I must have misunderstood what you said.
Right,
did you say you competitively piston and shoot?
Yes, I did. Right, and then the next week I would go out there.
I didn't even know they had competition for that.
They do.
I'm glad he wasn't in the Army when I was. If I opened my parachute,
that's why they changed them from white to browns to hide the yellow. But all of a sudden you're doing something and you're doing it so well, your head goes straight up your ass.
You think you're so easy,
and you go like, oh yeah, no big deal. And last year his bike was just that much better than everybody else that he didn't have to push it to its full limit to win. So he had that confidence going through because he was like, this is easy. He was on the best bike, no doubt about it, last year. Yeah. This year, there's questions about it. It's not the fastest straightaway bike.
Should there be?
I don't know.
I
think there wasn't questions until Rossi won Qatar.
The Honda should still be the best bike out there. It's just that the Yamaha
has caught up,
and the
Ducati
are much closer.
Now he
much
has
closer.
to. Before, it's a lot easier to do something really well when there's no pressure on you. And not that the pressure was like, oh my God, I'm racing for a world championship, but the fact that if he bobbled it into a turn, he was ahead by a day and a half. You know, he could back off and take a little bit off and still win the race. Now he backs off that little bit and it's sixth place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, but again, he is not his qualifying.
It's a mindset.
His practice, he doesn't even make it in. He doesn't even make it into to Q2.
Which he should have been able to push. I watched him run down pit road at Texas. He should have been able to push the bike around the track.
When I saw that,
Nicky Hayden made P.
When I saw his name, when I saw his name on Q1 on the thing, I thought it was his brother. I really did. I thought,
that's where about
they give him a wild card ride. Because there's no way Marquez has never been, since he's been in MotoGP, he's never had to run the first qualifier. He's always gone straight through to the second one. But anyways, something's not right. And right now, I think on that team right now.
I mean, Yanni Hernandez.
I think on that team right now. Number one, they don't. Right. When I made this comment on Facebook, when a satellite Honda qualifies higher than both factory bikes, something's very wrong.
Something's very wrong.
So either they're going to fix it, or I'm going to have to say that if you have to pick a Honda, you almost have to pick Danny Pedrosa, because right now, Danny Pedrosa seems to be racing better than Marc Marquez.
Yeah,
right now.
You just have to hope Danny Pedrosa can be close enough to the lead that when he starts falling back, he's still
now the question actually becomes which of the Ducati or which of the
right.
Yamaha bikes are going to win.
Who would thought we'd be sitting here at Mugello going, oh, the next race you probably should pick a Yamaha or a Ducati.
Yeah.
Not a Yamaha or a Honda.
And I think of the Ducatis right now, you'd have to take Iannone because Dovizioso's having a bad run.
Dirk is getting all frustrated.
Yeah.
We're running a little bit long.
Right. We got a little long in the tooth. Literally just one. But before we go, we're going to talk a little bit about our DawgHouse World Superbike MotoGP pool, which is unlicensed, unsanctioned, or whatever you want to say. But anyways, listen, folks, it is too late to. Well, it's not too late because you can start practice for next year. We never really mentioned that. We had a bunch. Olaf is back in the lead.
Olaf had a perfect weekend, right?
He had a perfect weekend, and he built on his lead because Hawkeye and who were in second and third.
Did you take 20 points off for no British Superbike reports?
You know, I should do that.
Right.
I should take 200 points off for that. But, I had Rossi and Zarco, which blew me back, and Hawkeye, who was close to him, had Rossi and Rabat, so he just gained points. Matt B jumped into second place all the way from, I think he was in third behind me. Richard, that was a big jump.
Yeah.
Richard is charging hard. He went from 14th to 5th this week with his double.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
14th to 5th?
That's how close the pool is.
Right. That's scary.
That's scary.
We're still early.
Yeah, I thought I was doing good well because I thought Dovey looked strong at the beginning and it just blew it up. So
the worst weekend of all of us was our buddy Martin, who scored the famous Phil 0.0.
0.0.
Dave M had another 0.0 because he just puts in. I said qualifying's over. He goes, oops. That's not a pick, Dave M.
I thought he had defaults in.
No,
he didn't.
Dave M put defaults in. Anybody who don't, Kristen Casey scored points on Rossi, but she never put in default for Moto 2.
Oh, God.
It's like,
well, she got more points than I did.
She did get more. No, she actually got less.
Yes.
Well, in Moto.
Yeah, but you end up with 20. You actually pulled a little bit out on her. Ken, you jumped up from 17th to 13th
Wow.
The Chargers, I told you, man, just be patient.
I
have
am.
some good picks.
I was the one who kept saying this early.
You
It's
only
still
scored
early.
20 points.
Yeah.
It was a lot of us who had 16 or zeros and
Right.
stuff like that. You know, there was a bunch of people you passed who had some zippies. A bunch of us did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6 of us had perfect weekends. So that's
impressive.
That's a big, impressive weekend.
I got, and definitely hats off to anybody that can pick Lorenzo, because that's going to guarantee that I have a very limited range that I can move this season.
Right, you're
'Cause
now.
I cannot. I will not.
You will
I will
not do
pledge. I will pledge. I will not pick Lorenzo this season.
Wow.
I've tried. I quit in the middle of writing his name.
I know.
You
I
can't do it.
think I know you
get the
well enough
Jorge,
to know
but
you
you
to
don't
sell
get
out
the
your
L.
convictions for a win.
Nope. Won't do
And
it. Won't
you
do
will
it.
do that?
Won't do it. On camera, I will not pick Lorenzo. If he wins the next 7 races in a row, on the 8th race, I won't pick him.
This is also the guy who said on the air one time that he'd never missed 8 DawgHouses in a row, and my 5 guys tasted
There's a
really
difference
good.
between being wrong. There's a difference between being wrong, right, about something, and I could be wrong. Lorenzo could win every race the rest of the season. I still won't pick him.
I find that hard to believe, Tom
We'll see.
Sykes.
We'll see.
Tom Sykes. I find that hard to believe.
I've never said that about Tom Sykes.
Anyways, I think we probably should wrap it up. World Superbike is going to be in Porto Mayo. Almost said Potty Mayo.
Potty Mayo.
Wow.
Potty mouth.
In Potty Mouth in Porto Mayo, which is Portugal.
Porto Mayo is Portugal. That's
Portugal.
correct.
So if you're in the pool, don't forget to get your picks in. 2 weeks if you're in the area. Barber Motorsports, come by Ken and I lunch.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham,
Or hookers.
Alabama.
Lunch or hookers.
You-
Or both.
You know,
If you're really a
have to
fan,
do-
it'll be both.
I have to do the STD check of Birmingham before I ask for hookers.
We've been in Danville. It can't be worse.
Yeah, that's legit, but we didn't get hookers in Danville.
That's right.
Anyways, I guess we'll see you all next week.